champion, the Nutrition Corner. I want to thank you for joining me. We'll make this as simple and painless as possible. What I'd like to do is address some issues about juicing and nutrition, something kind of like oxygen. You want to do this. So it's going to benefit you as much as it's benefited me. Now, with my medical background, graduate of the Air Force Medical School, a wellness nutritional coach, and having been mentored by a lot of fun people and friends of mine who have done it before, just like them, I've been down the road and been able to see now the results. And as you can tell, got a little bit of experience underneath this cap. So what I'd like to do is get this over and give you an opportunity to meet a challenge and to have some fun while we're doing it. Now, just as this, most of you will recognize, means nutrition and health. It's in fruits, it's in vegetables, you mix it in smoothies and blendies, but this guy represents even more than just how good something could be in terms of taste. This represents repairing your heart as well as repairing the brain. Why? Because your brain and your heart are nearly 40% fat, and this is one of the good ones. Good bricks and mortars go in, you build a good bricks and mortar house. If it's not good, then you have a not good house. Okay, so let's start with fruits and vegetables. Now, you and I could sit down and eat one, pop one of these in our mouth, chew it and swallow it. Does a pretty good job, right? Well, let me ask you this. Let's step it up a notch, and let's take a look at putting this in and chewing it and swallowing it. Can you out-chew a blender? Yeah, I didn't think so. I've tried, it doesn't work. A blender can do a better job and it does it faster than I can. But let's raise the bar. Instead of a blender, what about getting all of the nutrition out of this without that sour look and feeling? What if we turned it up to a juicing machine? A single auger juicing machine. Something that actually contains a useful element that takes a bite out of the fruit and the vegetables. And then as it works its way down, it actually chews and grinds it into a very fine slurry to where eventually even the enzymes that are underneath the skin and inside the meat are completely removed, so that one direction, the pulp comes out. The other, yum. You want yum. And so do I. What we're looking for here is in a single auger juicer is the best. It's the catalog. You have the upright styles, you have the horizontal styles. And as my wife lovingly calls those, they're the elephant, because they stand sideways. But the upright juicer is the most convenient, as it's the smallest footprint on your kitchen table. And when it comes to appliances, you really do want a good quality blender and a good quality juicing machine, because this gives you the best possible nutrition for the result that you're looking for. One of the things we want to start looking for too is this kind of a appliance, and the technician and the science behind it didn't just happen 10 years ago or 20 years or 30 years ago. This has been an ongoing process in a country where people actually value what they eat, and it has to mean everything to them. We in America have been following marketing and advertising for so long, we think if it doesn't come out of a box or a can, what do we do with it? Well, one of the things we're going to look at doing is doing raw and fresh and in a glass. And as you'll see shortly, it's easy to do. The other advantage to this particular is called the Kuvings Upright Whole Slow Juicer. The advantage of it being a whole slow juicer, takes the entire apple. Kind of cool. Don't have to do much chopping, unless of course you want to. And then feel free. But I'd like to also introduce the fact that the movement on this auger is very, very slow, which reduces oxidation. And it's not like oxygen. You don't want oxidated cells. So it does it slow, and it means it's quiet, very nice and quiet. So you and I are being able to have a conversation. So let me give you a basics for a simple introduction. Here's a juice. Something you can get with fruits and vegetables that will be yum at a whole new level. And we'll start with a fresh apple. One of the things I'm going to look to do is, I'm going to take the apple, and I'm going to do part of a lemon. And some people will say, well, what are you doing with a lemon in an apple? Isn't that going to be too tart? And my question to you is this. Have you ever eaten a Granny Smith apple? It's got a bit of a tart bite. You add a little more tart to it, you're going to get a lot of tart bite, right? Well, guess what? Wrong. You actually are extracting the enzymes inside this, and the enzymes inside this. When it's done, pulp comes this way, the delicious sweet juice and enzyme goes this way. And what does that benefit you? Well, let's just say that when you drink this, within 15 to 20 minutes of it being in your stomach and now working its way through the pyloric valve into the intestinal tract, you are already absorbing all of that delicious, healthy nutrition. And believe me, you're going to want that. So let's get this started. One of the ways to enjoy this is turning it on in the forward motion. And look at that. You and I can still have a normal conversation. It doesn't sound like a 747 taking off at O'Hare Airport. And I like to alternate my fruits and vegetables so that it keeps the moisture going and it helps it. This particular model also self-cleans as it goes along. And if you're willing to take a look, see what's happening. We got a little bit of apple. Look at the pulp. See how it's starting to work its way around there? I'm going to add a little bit of the lemon. We've got a little push provided, so you don't have to push hard. All you want to do is just get past that little piece, gets it started, and it begins chewing. Now kale, really known for its protein value and its ability to produce a great deal of folic acid, minerals, electrolytes that your body and my body wants too. This is going to be completely separated. And look at the pulp's already starting to come out. And look at the juicing as we're going on here. Now we're starting to get some color. Now, if anybody ever watched Popeye when you were younger, the Popeye the sailor guy, he ate a lot of spinach whenever things got tough. And why? Because spinach has a lot of iron. It also has a lot of other minerals. And one of the things we're looking for is that lemon that we put in there. That's called vitamin C. That vitamin C helps to take the enzymes from the iron that's inside the spinach and helps your body, working together, absorb more of it and more absorbed quickly. Another nice and wonderful thing to add is called grapes. Now, these are red seedless in season. I like these. And to turn this into one pure, delicious juice, it's a win-win situation. I would highly recommend, first chance you get, start with the simple things you know you like to eat and taste. Get them to a size that makes it worthwhile. You notice how I'm cutting up the apple to get that in shape. I'm going to be putting in my greens straight in, just like they are, followed by something that's got a lot of liquid and moisture to it. A little bit more greens and apple. And look at where we got in here. That is pure yum, and that is amazing nutrition. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for a way to get this healthy nutrition into our body and turn that into the kinds of information that our body can use immediately. Are you ready for this? Watch.
Bring some out here, good time.